Let's take a look at services. First of all, let's talk about what a service actually is. A service is generally a program that is started up and then immediately goes to the background and just kind of runs there waiting for requests. This may be a web server, it may be an FTP server, it may be a service like Dbus that manages inter-process communication. There are a number of services that are running on your system at any given point. So there's a directory that I want to look at first here. That's etc-init.d. And etc-init.d is where, on most Linux systems, you will find the scripts that actually manage the services on your particular system. Now, these are generally bash scripts, and they take a number of parameters depending on what you want to do. Let's get a status on Dbus. And you can see Dbus is running. Now, I can also stop and start services. So let's just stop and start one. And I'm not going to stop and start Dbus. The reason for that is because if I were to try to restart it, it would actually kill my interface session here. The GUI would just stop working altogether. So let's do XM4, which is a mail server. And I can stop that. And then let's just check the status before we start it back up again. So looks like not running. Now I want to start it back up again, and we have started the service. So that's one way of managing it. I can also use the service utility and then say XM4 status. And that's going to give me a status on the server. So basically what I just did was bypass the whole calling the script through etc-init.d, and I just used the service utility, which is effectively the same thing. It's certainly fewer characters, and I could do something like a restart on it as well. So same idea. Rather than going directly to the script, I'm calling it through the service utility. There are other things that we can do with services. We can set up whether they are running or not and what run levels they are in. There are different utilities that you can use on different Linux distributions in order to manage that. But in terms of starting and stopping them, you can go to the etc-init.d directory, start the script directly, or you could, of course, use the service command in order to manage whether your services are running or not and what the status actually is for them.